Art students, Brian Proctor back again, the art teacher. Sometimes I forget to say that. And this is the final product, and I'm gonna say it took me a minute to do this, and I ran into some mistakes along the way, and I had to dress the character because it would have never gotten past YouTube's monetization. So, I don't like to dress my characters when I don't intend to dress them. It was more anatomy wise, but I had to put some clothes on it because it would have. You'll see as the video progresses why I had to do this. So this is the final product, and you'll see the troubles that I ran into with this one. This one should have been a simple one, but I guess it was one of those drawing days for me. So yeah, let's get into the video and see the outcome of this drawing. All right, let's go. All right, let me stop right here, and I'm going to work on the face. And the thing that gets me is the hair. Am I going to put hair on the female character? Am I not? And that's one of the hardest things for me to do when it comes to drawing women is clothes, putting clothes on the female character. Face is not so bad, you know, just as long as you're giving her the female kind of sharpness, you'll be all right. But when it comes to hair, it's kind of a difficult one for me. So let's just get on with it. Keep going. Okay, let me stop right here again. And for some reason, well, let me just start out by these eyes are crooked. It's just, that messes me up because the more you draw with a pencil, if I have a scrap piece of paper, which I don't, yeah, I do. Yeah, this is another video. This is either coming up or you'll see it later. So the more you draw with that pencil, the more dents you're going to put in that paper. And when you come back to ink it, your pencil could fall in, or your pen can fall in any one of these lines, and then it can throw you off. And that's one thing when I do faces. I have so many lines, like for the eyes, so the pen fell into one of those wrong tracks, and it just made the eyes crooked. And for some reason, a lot of times when I ink, especially small areas, my hand shakes when I try to get right down in there. It shakes. Any other time, it doesn't shake. But just like faces, I don't know, because my brain is like, oh, you might mess up, you might mess up. So, and you know, there's no turning back now. Her eyes are crooked, but you know, some people have crooked eyes. So anyway, let's keep going. Stopping again. The reason I keep turning the paper so much is when you ink, you're supposed to pull your pen, not push it. And you, especially when you're doing like a circle or something, you just a little bit and you turn it. And that's why a lot of times I don't do fast motion, because all you get is this when I'm inking, and you really can't see what I'm doing. So this is one of those days when I'm really turning my paper a whole lot, which is good, but which is bad for filming. So now you know why I'm doing this. All right, let's continue. All right, so this is going to be it for this drawing. This has been a minute because I put this down because I couldn't figure out what to do with the hands. And I do mean I put this down for about a minute, a good minute. So I did a little hair on it because I just didn't want her bald, and then it kind of takes away from the crooked eyes a little bit. I should do the hair black, but I'm not going to. I'm saying that as I'm getting ready to uncap my pen to do it black, but I'm going to leave it as is. And I'm going to put some clothes on her, or put a little suit on her. For all intents purposes, she is naked, and that's how YouTube would see it, as a naked female. So I'm going to put some kind of bathing suit or something on her for the thumbnail. And yeah, I've pre-drew a bunch of positions already, because I was in a drawing mood like a couple nights ago. So I've got some more to just finish doing and editing and have it up on time. So that's going to be it. I may do a little detail in the hands and connect the dots to put clothes on her. And then yeah, that's going to be it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Give me a thumbs up if you're liking this stuff. And as I always say, I'm going to get into more comic book drawing, but you know, I want to do some positions. One, to get you doing more positions, and two, to loosen me up again. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. As I say, subscribe, like, and notification, because I'm going to try to bring you up to a week, unless I get sick or my hand breaks or something crazy like that. All right, so later. All right, so now we start the actual teaching part. So as I said earlier, I did a bunch of these drawings, and I kind of set them aside to finish them later. So that's why when I say in my videos, it took me a week, or it took me so long to do a video, is because a lot of these were pre-drawn, and then I come back later and then I finish it up. So it was so long since I did this one, I forgot to actually add the actual drawing part in, which is here it is. So when doing the female body, basically I do, and I have a couple extra scrap pieces of paper. I'll do this small. I usually just do basically 2 triangles. Point at the top, point at the bottom. There you have your basic female shape. You round them off. At the highest point, you round it off. And up here, you cut it like that for the arms to go to. And then you have your head, and at the base of your neck, where your collarbone is, I usually just do a heart. If it's hard to do that, do another triangle from edge to edge, like that. And then just round it off. Center line, of course. But that is the female body going from the front. And where's my blue pencil? That doesn't want to cooperate. So it's kind of like this. Can you see that on that paper? Hopefully you can. And then just, you know, slim it out, because you don't want your triangle to be, you know, too thick, unless you're trying to get like really big hips or something like that. But that's basically the shapes that I use to get it. Now, when you're doing like a chest, I don't want to say breast, because I remember when I did a breast video, somebody freaked out because he just keeps saying breast. Size determines whether it goes off of the triangle or not. Let's just say this is the top half of the body, your hips here. I want to draw the hips. So if I want to draw the breasts, you said you weren't going to say breasts, like this. And then your shoulder's going to come here, or come off your arms, shoulders, and your arms. Now, I can have small by just not even taking it up here, just a little here, not even going like all the way. But of course, you will be dressing these characters, so you don't want to think that, you know, a female character is going to be walking around topless. Just really small. Or if you want the large power woman size, you take it off of the side, the blue side. You just make it bigger and take it from off of the side, so it would look something like this. And then your sides would come in like that, and then there's your hips. And then you have the big breasts, and of course your arms are going to still stay the same size. And your shoulders and the head. So like I said, if you're going to do small and this was your waist, this is the side of your triangle, they won't even come off to the side of the triangle. So that's the difference if you want to do small and big breasts on your female character. Yeah, so remember this shape, this 2-diamond shape, or if you this hourglass shape, as people say, that like that. So when doing this one, what I wanted to do is I kept it. Let's do another piece of paper because it might come out better than the original. Because when I set stuff down for a time and I look at it, I see all the mistakes that I made. So this one, I think when I first came around, I did this sweep because I wanted to sweep. Then you have your shoulders, which I should have tilted down a little bit more, which meant this would have tilted the opposite way. So let's just say we have this in the center and this going this way. This is my center line. I don't know if this one's going to work for this, but I'm going to try it anyway. It makes it easier. Sometimes it works depending on the position. Sometimes it doesn't, but it gets a little flat, and then you kind of lose your balance. So, but you're always going to have the waist come in, and that's where it starts to straighten up instead of being more like that. So I'm not going to change too much from it. So straighten that shoulders up and back, straighten that shoulder back up, straighten that hip back up. So what you want here, you have your shoulders. As I say, when I do females, I tend to do the head. I put the head on pretty quickly, which is what I say, don't start out with your head. The head should be last. So doing that, the shoulders are going to slope down, and then your arms. So when you have this here, like I say, when you have this, you cut it off where your arms are going to be or where your shoulders are going to be. And you don't want it too big because you're not trying to draw a male. So I'm going to, let's just say I'm going to put my triangle right here as low as I want my chest to go. I'll round that off. So it leaves me room for the shoulders. So the shoulders are going to be here and about here. Okay, so when you're doing the arms, if you're doing, I'm going to do my circle now. When you're doing the arms in perspective, and I think soon I'm going to do one where you're doing in perspective, and you see the big hand here, and it goes back. I'm going to do one like that. I said I was going to stop saying I'm going to do one like that. So as I say, when you're doing this without the big perspective, without the close-up perspective, what you have in drawing your arm, you have three pieces, this, and this, which is your delt. I'll do another one. This is your head, collarbone. You have your delt, you have your bicep, tricep, and you have your forearm. So I take that and I make these shapes out of it: circle, oval, triangle, or cone, dart, whatever. So you're just lifting it up in front of each other. It's like if you have this pencil and you kind of lift it up in front of each other, you have the red in front of the blue. It's going to cut some of the blue off. That's what you do. You're drawing that shape, which is this oval. And then you're putting that in front of that. This goes, let's just say this fully goes all this way, like that. So what I'm going to do with this red is I'm not going to put the red right here on the front. I'm going to bring it in the back. I'm going to cut that off, cut some of that off. And then, of course, as I say, wherever your wrist is, you want to just chop it like that. Now, it depends on how high you want the arms raised. You can still do your oval. So that oval, like this, once you lift it up, it's going to be shorter and almost comes into a circle if it's straight at you. If it's not straight at you, you get just a little bit of that oval. So here, and then of course again, you're not going to put it right here. You're going to bring it inside, and it's going to be the same thing as this, except you're not going to have it as long. And that way you lift, it makes the hands lift up, or the arms lift up more by bringing that in closer. And this is a given. This is going to stay regardless. So it's just foreshortening, and as I say, I'll get into the foreshortening and perspective later. I said perspective first, but it's foreshortening. So back to my original, and this video was really short. I think it was like 11 minutes 33 seconds without this. So I don't want to take it over like 30 minutes. Hopefully it's not there yet. So okay, now even covering this up and bringing this back, it shows me how long this is. This is crazy long. So chop that down. So once I actually transform this into my oval, which I would have done, I would have saw that it was like really long. So I'm gonna cut it down like about right here, and I'm gonna speed it up from now on, from this point, so it don't get too long, because I'm not drawing the thing. So center line, which kind of like goes right here on this one. And of course you have that V. Once you have that center line, what am I drawing on? You have that V. Here's your center line. That V comes from that center line. Now it depends on the actual waist. Let's just say you should be drawing clothes on your character. You can have that more, they call it that bikini cut or something, but it's got to go up from that center line, and then your legs start. So your legs are just cylinders or ovals at this point. Cylinder is different between an oval, and a cylinder is you can see through this. You can see through it. Okay, so oval, this could be like a capsule, you know, a little Tylenol gel capsule, and a cylinder is you're going to be able to see right through that thing. Okay, so now you know. So if you're not seeing through it, it's not a cylinder. Or if you don't draw the ends, the circles, it's not a cylinder. So oval for now, and then circle for the knee. And I do my little oval. Well, I'm just going to draw that leg. And you want to kind of keep it unmuscular, because it's not a man. So I'm going to screw it up with this pen, because this is kind of like a final. Skinny ankles, and then the foot. And so the same thing with the leg is kind of like right here, depending on how much you want this to be pointed at you. This is a cylinder, so it's going to be a cylinder. If I point it all the way at you, it's just going to be that circle. You can see right through it. If I tilt it down a little bit, you'll see some of the top of it. And it depends on how much I tilt it down or bring it up. Now, if I added another cylinder to this, let's just say this was a thigh. If I added another cylinder to that, bringing it down, straight down, that could be your other part of your leg. What is that called? And then there's your foot. So if I drew that, it'd be like this. Here's my knee, and then there's my other part of my foot. So now I have a leg that is somebody that is sitting down. Same thing for this side, depending on how much I want to show of that top or bottom. My knee is going to be here, and my leg is going to be there. Just using cylinders. So that's going to be the same thing when you bend a character's leg. How much of that cylinder or oval do you want to see? Since her leg is kind of going facing down. So you're still going to see some of that cylinder. It's good to do a cylinder. And it has that little curve to it. And then you tuck that other cylinder underneath, which if I drew all the way through, it would look like this. And then you have the foot coming from that. But since I'm not drawing all the way through, but when you see it, it's like that. So you have this cylinder. If I ink it, I will mess it up, but it's all for learning process. So it's going to be like this. Coming down. Then you're going to have that other one that's kind of behind it. And this empty space is going to be where your knee is going to be. And then your foot, like that. So this leaves kind of like that circle, and that could still be your knee, that little circle part. But with this one, you know, I add a little more. When you bend your leg up, it's going to get fatter right here. But that's when you start getting into muscles. And then curve out a little bit more here. And the more I bring that up, the more opening you would see of that cylinder. So if I did this, if this was her leg, if I put that right here, that opening right here, that would mean she would have that leg up higher. And then of course, again, it's going to be that part here, and then the leg here, or that foot here, leaving that little circle again for your knee. So it's just a cylinder, okay, cylinder, because it's open, circle, and then your foot behind that, and then her hip would be like right here, crotch would be there, and the other leg would come across there. So it's just being able to, where are my things that I have? These things right here. I use these for examples all the time. Well, I used to. I haven't done it in a while. That's all it is. Get you either a paper towel thing or a toilet paper thing, and it's good if you have two. And then you can kind of put them together and see what I'm saying. Just draw your shapes. Something I always say: draw your shapes, and then you'll get a better grasp on doing stuff by just mastering your shapes. So what did I drop? Something else. Okay, so we've got the legs, and then as I said, the hands. You have your delts. Is that circle? You want to have that oval comes out, depending on how far or how high or low you want to have your hands or arms. And then of course, again, I say bring it in to that. I'm going to try to get it the same way I've got this one. And then that hand is basically square. Shape that square a little bit. Same thing here. It's going to come out. I really didn't want to draw on that paper, so on this paper, so. And again, you have this one. That hand again is a square, almost a square. You bring it in because this actually kind of curves and it comes down. So you just, if you're doing some kind of dramatic, this is going to come down. This kind of is straight, but it's going to kind of come up in certain positions. It's going to not be straight. It's going to tuck in. So this is why I did like this, almost kind of like a triangle. Almost, can you see that? I can see that, but can the monitor see that? So just like that. And then I put my thumb here, finger here. You can put a bend to it. Other finger there, other finger there, other finger there. Same thing here. Gonna kind of curve it around. You can either bend the finger or you can have the finger come up. I think that's like a more dramatic kind of when you have the fingers come up. Of course, you split that. Or you can have the fingers, this thumb, you can have it bent a little bit. And the hands, as I say, hands and face tell the whole story on your character because of the expression of the face and the stress in the hands. Why did I do her neck like that? Her neck should come like that, slope down. And then, of course, the same way with the male, it comes around like that, up into there. And you can, again, a secret for getting big breasts is just bring that curve around like that. But usually if you're doing, if you are doing someone in clothes, and this is how you can tell if they have clothes on. Let's do this. Here's the breast again. Here's the collarbone, shoulders, collarbone, the delt, shoulders, whatever, delt. So instead of just having like two separate like this, what you do is, hopefully you can see that, it's just you're bringing it down. Okay, here's my arm, here's my delt. You're gonna bring it like just like a one piece. That way it looks like that character is wearing some type of shirt because you have that one piece, you don't have that separation. Now, if you do like, something like that, then it looks like, that indentation coming down, and you can also do like some wrinkles underneath, and then you have, a shirt without having to do the separations like that. And remember, like I say, it depends on how much side you show, how much this curve comes off of the side determines the size of the breast. So if I did something like that, it would show that the breasts are a little smaller. So when you saw that without the little bathing suit on, that would have never got through YouTube. YouTube would have been like, oh, there's a naked woman throwing her arms out. So that is why I had to put the bathing suit on. And as I say, if I'm doing a drawing video for anatomy, I'm doing this serious purpose for people to learn. But understandably, somebody 6 years old, some 6-year-old little kid could see that and say, oh, wow, now I know how to draw breasts, which you do if you watch this video. So now that's going to be it for this video. And yeah, this is the final product, which you saw in the beginning. I brought the hair down a little bit because it started to look like a wig because it was like too off here, and I did a short bob here. I can actually just pull the hair back more, but what's done is done. So this is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you learned something, because I'm trying to teach you guys. I'm trying. So that's going to be it. No rambling. I'll see you guys in the next video, which should be up about 2 days from now, 3 days from now. I try to do 2 a week, as I said, 2 a week. So I just have to edit it and get it out. I'm rambling. I'll see you guys later.